Hi everyone, so today in this video I'm going to do my 31-week pregnancy update, and I'm just kind of going to go through some of like my pregnancy symptoms, and I had a checkup this week and then just like other related things, or somewhat related things but not necessarily related things that have been happening this week, just because I think it'll be interesting for me to kind of remember the things that have been going on in my pregnancy. I've just been, like I say in every single video, I'm just very busy, just because a lot of things are going on and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to cover is my symptoms, and my belly I think has just been, like normal, like just growing. Something that I forgot to mention in my last update was I haven't been really enjoying, or I don't really like to like bend over and like pick something up off the floor or whatever. So I think it was like maybe last week or 2 weeks ago when I took Nana to Trader Joe's. She had this maybe like 2 or 3 rocks in her hands, and she wanted to sit in the cart. So I just, like I carried her and I lifted her into the cart, but she kept dropping the rocks, and so she dropped the rocks like probably 2 or 3 times, and I was like, stop dropping the rocks, because I don't want to bend over. And I guess someone overheard me, and she said, "Mama, I dropped it again, blah blah blah." And before I could even like bend over and pick it up, the nicest lady just kind of interjected and was like, "Oh, here, I'll pick it up for you." And I thought that was just so nice. And normally, like, people at Trader Joe's are like super nice and everything, but the Trader Joe's where I live, like my local Trader Joe's, I mean, I've been to a lot of Trader Joe's in a lot of different states, and I've never really had this problem, but for some reason the Trader Joe's in my current local Trader Joe's, it's probably like the worst Trader Joe's I've ever had to shop at, and it's kind of annoying just because I have to shop at that Trader Joe's often now, but the people are rude both, and like I like multiple times I get overcharged for things and things like that. But anyway, so the fact that it happened at my local Trader Joe's was even more kind of like a surprise, but it was just so nice. So I think that's also indication of how much bigger I'm getting. Just like people are just like way noticing that I am like obviously pregnant. In terms of my sleep, it's been like pretty much normal. Like I continue to wake up to go to the bathroom, and actually going to the bathroom, it's like I will go to the bathroom, I'll like pee, and then like 5 minutes later I'll have to feel like I have to pee again. So that kind of comes with the territory. So I've been normally getting up, and normally I can go back to sleep, but I feel like every other day or every few days I'll have trouble going back to sleep, and then once I do go back to sleep, it makes me wake up late. But in terms of Charlie horses or cramps, I feel like this week it hasn't been that bad, or it hasn't been as bad as like 2 weeks before in my last video. So I guess that's good. My linea negra, which is the line between kind of that goes from your belly button like down, it's just like a darkened line. I feel like it's getting darker, and not that I really care, but it's just something that I noticed. Oh, actually, another thing that I noticed within like the past week or so is that my belly I don't know if it's always red, but it gets red. It's like it just, the whole thing gets red, especially after I take a shower. Now I do take really hot showers. I like hot showers. So I think that kind of promotes the redness, but overall I think there's like a red splotch. So I'm going to do a belly shot at the end of the video, as I always normally do, and we'll check it out, see if it's like noticeably red to you. And then so that's, but what I was gonna say is that I'm not really too concerned like in my checkup, she said, like I told her, I was like, I think my belly's kind of red or whatever, and she asked me, is it itchy? I was like, no. Does it feel sensitive? And I don't it feel like it really feels like sensitive. It's just a little, not red, it's like pink or pink red, or it's more red at least when I come out of the shower. But again, like I said, I take really hot showers. So in my last pregnancy with Nunai, I did have like kind of like a skin condition, and I forgot to tell her this, but my legs got splotchy, so some parts of it were like darker than others, but it went away. It didn't hurt, it didn't do, it just looked odd. It just looked odd. It happened like mostly on the back of my calves, and I didn't even notice it. I was swimming at a friend's house, and she noticed it, and it kind of, it was like that for the rest of my pregnancy. So I have a feeling, or I'm hoping, that it's just kind of like the same thing. Walking has been, I've slowed down in my pace for sure. I'm definitely waddling, and I just can't walk as fast. I just can't walk as fast. In terms of my energy, I think it's been normal. Like, again, like I said, it was after my 20th week, so I had like a blood test like sometime after, like one of those normal blood tests after my 20 week. Oh, it was the glucose tolerance test, and I had my iron checked, and I was mildly anemic. So I'm always trying to like gauge like how tired I am. I don't think I'm abnormally tired than, someone who is in their third trimester. And in terms of, this might be a little TMI, so you can just like skip ahead, but I do want to give you kind of like the full picture of it or whatever. But like on and off, maybe like every other day or every 2 or 3 days, something like that, I do kind of get like hemorrhoidal symptoms, or it feels like, oh man, like a hemorrhoid's about to come on. But I feel like maybe it's maybe I was standing too long, walking too long, sitting too long, just like upright too long. And at least so far, like knock on wood, hopefully it'll be like that for the rest of the time. If I lie down, and usually overnight it'll go away, or like if I lie down long enough, when I relax, it'll go away. I just think it's like the pressure and the heaviness. So that's that. So okay, talking about my checkup, I went in for an OB checkup. So I hadn't seen my doctor for 3 weeks, so my next appointment will be 3 weeks. So she said that the schedule going forward will be, I'll see her in 3 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then 1 week, 1 week, 1 week until the baby's delivered. So in terms of my checkup, it went fine. So we are at the doctor's office, just doing a normal checkup, and it's good because I gained 4 pounds in 3 weeks, so I'm very happy about that.
Mama, you need to put lotion on me.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to do it yourself.
Okay.
Okay, where do you want to put it? So as I was saying, I gained 4 pounds in 3 weeks, and the goal was 1 pound a week. So I'm ahead of the game, and so a little less pressure off. I made a smoothie last night, which I thought was really good, and I finally took out the blender, as I was saying in my last update video. This is, let's see what the belly looks like now from here. She was moving a lot, and I feel like she moves like a lot, like right here. I feel like the foot is like always, I feel like it's a foot, but I feel like it's always here. And blood pressure and things like that are good, and now we are just waiting. Oh, and we just had our last ballet class, and it was the cutest because the parents actually got to see her, see the kids perform. Just like nervous the doctor's gonna walk in. Okay, so that's the update. Very good, and I'll keep you updated. Alright, bye. love Minions. Oh, Minions. I gained 4 pounds in 3 weeks, which is like a big accomplishment for me because if you remember seeing, I think, my 28th week video, she asked me to gain a pound a week. So I gained more than a pound a week, which is really good. And I've been drinking like smoothies and stuff like that. I finally did whip out my blender and I am starting to make smoothies. I make mango smoothies and I just got frozen strawberries, so I'm going to make frozen strawberry and banana smoothies. Those are the 2 kinds of smoothies that I made in my last pregnancy with Nonai. But I might try other ones. Like I might try putting peanut butter, maybe like a strawberry peanut butter one, kind of like a peanut butter jelly kind of one. And I might try other ones. Like nothing too crazy, but you know, like I'm not into anything green or anything like that, but I'll see. And yeah, so that's okay. So back to my checkup. Sorry. So I gained 4 pounds in 3 weeks, so that was really good. And vitals were fine. My belly measurement, like she like measures the fundus. That was measuring, like it's been measuring fine. And the baby was moving a lot that day. Like the baby was moving like the whole day, like seriously the whole day. And I should have filmed it, but I didn't because I was like, oh, I filmed it last time. So, but it would have been cool if I filmed it because when she was using the Doppler to listen to the baby's heartbeat, the baby was moving and she clearly saw it. And I asked what the heartbeat was when she was finished. And normally it's been consistently 140 beats. But this time she was moving so much that it was 150. So that was cool. And the biggest news of the checkup was she was like, I have bad news. And I was like, bad news? Like what bad news? Because I have a follow-up ultrasound next week. And I was like, I didn't even have my ultrasound yet, you know? Like, and so she was like, so I have bad news. And I was like, what? And then she said she is leaving the practice and she's moving. She's not moving out of state, she is moving out of county. So it's clearly far. She's moving out to a different practice and it's far. So she said that she's moving out. She's moving end of September, but she'll be in and out. She'll finish what she called clinic end of September, and then she'll be in and out, like, I guess doing deliveries through mid-October. And I kind of wonder if she's kind of like staying for me, but it's like, stay. So yeah, I'm due like a few days before the end of September, so we were talking about, you know, like what will happen. And I was like, well, you know, I don't mind being induced, because I was induced with Nonai. Let's say like on my due day, or maybe even the day after, because I think hopefully it, you know, like I had a very good experience with Nonai being induced. I was induced maybe probably 2 days after her due date, because I went into the hospital the day after her due date, and I was gonna be induced then, but there wasn't a room, so I had to wait another day. So I was induced 2 days after Nonai's due date, and it progressed very quickly and very fine, very smoothly, and it was perfect. So I don't really have a problem with being induced, or at least my experience of being induced last time was not bad at all. And I don't feel necessarily, you know, the obligation to have to wait like a week later after my due date, or, you know, whatever. You're only supposed to wait like no more than 2 weeks, but, you know, like I don't mind doing it like, you know, a day or two after my due date. And I think if things happen the way Nonai came out, then it should be fine. I'll like just barely make the cutoff, but who knows what it's going to be like, because like this pregnancy hasn't been the same as with Nene, but I'm hoping the labor is. And I'm hoping I can deliver vaginally. So that is the big, you know, pregnancy news of this week. And, you know, like, I'm like, oh, you know, it'll be fine, you know, because, you know, we'll have a few days and, you know, before the end of September. But I'm sad, you know, like I've been working with this OB for more than a year, and I'm like attached, and so yeah, it kind of makes me sad. But I'm like crossing my fingers, and I knew something like this was gonna happen. Not that she was gonna move. I wasn't expecting that, but I was kind of like expecting that she was gonna get pregnant, and then she was gonna have I don't know, go on maternity leave or whatever. That was like kind of what went through my head, because she's young. And like her daughter is younger than Nene, so that was always in the back of my mind, that like, oh, she's not going to be around, but I just didn't expect it. Anyway, so next week I have an ultrasound, as I mentioned earlier, and that is the follow-up ultrasound to check the location of my placenta, because I had a low-lying placenta at 20 weeks. So I'm crossing my fingers that it moved up and that I'm in the clear and that I can do a vaginal delivery, because otherwise we might try to do a vaginal delivery if it moved up a little bit but not totally in the hospital. So at least if we have to do an emergency C-section, we can. But I'm hoping that it moved up completely and doing a vaginal delivery will be totally fine. And then also next week I scheduled and this is like what I was saying, like scheduling all these things that, you know, I'm so busy, is the hospital tour. But apparently this hospital doesn't do live tours. They have like an online tour, but they do have this thing called labor and delivery orientation, where you go to the hospital, but it's in a room. They don't give you a tour. They talk about the facility. They talk about what to expect, and at the end a nurse will come and talk to you and blah blah blah, and maybe you can ask some questions. So I have that next week. So when I do my update, I can fill you in on that. And some just general things. I have finally cleaned this side of the room, which is where I plan to put the crib, which has been, you know, like, thank goodness. It was like 5 boxes of stuff, and I condensed it down to 1 box. I threw out most of the stuff, and I'm throwing out a whole bunch of stuff. So finally, this side of the room is where the crib is going to go. That is finally cleared up, and now we're working on the baby stuff, like cleaning, like we started cleaning the baby stuff, so I will insert a clip of that. You want to see best grandma ever? We've been preparing.
Should I take a shower tonight or tomorrow?
I don't know. What you doing?
Baby stuff.
So this is all the linens. I guess we're doing the linens first. These are the kimono shirts. Oh, I have to go return those kimonos. Here, this is the first blanket I got Nana. The first item ever I bought. This is the hospital. This, I think my friend gave it to me.
Yeah, Amanda's.
And then these are the bed sheets. And those are all the, what's it called? Drool rags? What do we call it?
Diaper. Cloth diaper.
Those?
Poo rag.
Poo rag? No, but we use it as like a drool rag.
Did you buy this too?
I know this video is going to be super, super long. Sorry about that. I changed the setting a little bit so it's a little bit brighter. So as I was saying, yeah, I kind of can't wait until the crib is built. Well, I can't wait until we get the drawers and they're built. The crib is built and the car seats are installed. Those are the 3 major manual labor kind of things that I'm kind of dreading. But I can't wait until I get that stuff over with, and then all the other things I should be okay with. And And yeah, so it's the first day of August right now, and August is really when I really need to like pack down on doing things. So within the next couple weeks, I imagine that I will, you know, be getting most like a lot of this like manual labor stuff done, just because I just don't know how I'm gonna feel like as my, you know, trimester or as my pregnancy progresses, and then I just don't know when to expect the baby. I'm hoping that the baby does come late and that I have to be induced. I'd rather do that, just because when you get induced, at least you know, like, you're in the hospital and you're like all prepared. Well, not all prepared, but like you're in the hospital, you're, you know, where you gotta be. Versus if, you know, I don't know what it's like if your water breaks and you're in the middle of, you know, a store, or if you're driving or whatever it is. And then doing the whole, that's another thing. And doing the whole like counting of contractions, that's another thing that I have to probably brush up on my birthing knowledge. Like, not really like the breathing and things like that. Like, I never took a class like that, but just all the terminology of the progression of the birth. Like, I know your cervix has to get to the 10 centimeters, but like all the other stuff, like all the technical stuff, basically. And I watched a video, I basically just watched a video that my friend recommended, which was called like Live, Laugh, and Learn, or something like that, and it was like made in the 80s or something. But it like, it taught me what I needed to know. I think breathing, you just gotta breathe. I think I learned that in yoga, and like pushing, I think I also learned in yoga, like how to focus my energy or whatever, focus my whatever, in terms of like where I need to breathe and things like, or where I need to push. So that's that. And then lastly, the other items that kind of just have been going on, just, you know, this past week, is I just cut Nana's hair, and I uploaded the how I cut my bangs, and then like I'm working on the video of like how I cut my hair or whatever. And I know I have like a lot of videos on hair recently, but I think it's because, well, I know it's because I just haven't cut our hair in a really long time, just because of like all that morning sickness and all that other stuff. And I'm prepping, this is like part of the baby preparation, because I know once the baby comes, like, I'm not gonna have energy to like cut hair. So that's why I've been kind of like, you know, that's kind of why I've been like doing all this stuff. It's like preparation. And then Nona's gonna actually be starting school soon. In a couple weeks, we have, probably not even a couple weeks, less than a couple of weeks, I have the orientation, and she'll be starting in a couple of weeks, so at her new school. So that's really exciting. Ballet is over. That happened really fast. The summer is too quickly coming to an end, which I hate, because I love this weather. So I have like a little, you know, I have a video of a recital that we were given, or like we were allowed to come in, and they did like a little performance for us, so that was really cool and unexpected. But so I have that video coming up. And then soccer, we still have, and I think that goes through her first week of school, so we still have like a few soccer classes left. And I'm also thinking about Nene's birthday, because Nene's birthday is in September, and I want to do something before the baby comes, but you know, I don't know when the baby's coming and stuff like that. So, but I do want to kind of try to do something before the baby comes for her, and I've been thinking about it. And I don't think, like, personally, in my opinion, I don't think I necessarily want, no, I've been to a couple of organized, sorry, just checking to see if it's filming. I have been to a couple of organized, like, kids' birthday parties, like, you know, because she was invited by her classmates. But I don't think I want to go that route, just because I kind of feel like they're kind of impersonal. That's exactly it. I feel like they're impersonal because, you know, like you go to a venue like a kid's gym or things like that, and you get there, they, you know, do an activity, and then they play an activity, and then you're kind of like herded, and you eat your lunch, and then you sing your song, have cake, and then you're herded out, so then the next party can come in. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of impersonal, and I also feel, you know, like, you know, I don't know, I also feel like, you know, she's gonna have lots of parties to come, you know, like, you know, coming up or whatever through elementary school and middle school, where she's gonna want to do something more organized that will, you know, cost a little bit more money or whatever. So I don't feel like it's really that necessary. Also, she's transitioning from school. She hasn't been in her school for what is it, like 2 months? 2 months, 1 month, over a month. And it'll be 2 months in September. So I don't know how relevant, and plus we live like way far from her old school, so I don't know how willing those parents are going to want to travel to, you know, somewhere close to us unless we do something down there, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just trying to figure out like what I want to do for her birthday, and what she wants to do for her birthday. But yeah, so that isn't been on my mind. And then also happening this week was Mark Zuckerberg announced that he and his wife are expecting, which is pretty cool. But, you know, even cooler is that he announced it in a Facebook post, and I just thought it was, he basically was saying, he basically shared that, you know, it wasn't easy for them to get pregnant, and they had miscarriages along the way. And I just thought that was such a great thing for him to do and to share, and, you know, especially someone of his status. And it just kind of like goes to show that, you know, no matter how much money you have, or how much, you know, how smart you are, or how much status that you have, like pregnancy and getting pregnant and things like that, they're just like, none of that matters. Like, just like none of that matters. It's like you, like, that's why when it does actually happen, it's such a, and I know it sounds like cheesy, but it's like, it is such like, it's magical. It's like magical. And especially when you went through, when you've gone through one or more, you know, miscarriages, when you're actually trying, it just makes it that much more valuable, or like special, because it's like you want it so bad. And I want to write a blog post about it. I just haven't had time, and I'll probably do a video like dedicated to this topic in the future. So thumbs this video if you are interested in seeing that. And then other things that just have been going on is just, I've been reading a lot about, you know, businesses and things like that, doing, you know, like, you know, going IPO, and like how businesses got started, and things like that. It's just, I've been wanting to like start my own business. It's just like, I don't know necessarily what I want to do, because I feel like I was thinking, oh yeah, okay, I'll become, so I'm in marketing, so you know, like I'll become like a marketing consultant. But the thing is, I kind of feel like even if I did become a marketing consultant and I did work for myself, I'm still always working for somebody else, and I'm still, and the problem is that, or not the problem, but the thing about it is like, you're always, when you're doing that, if you're not doing your own business, for example, you're like working to fulfill someone else's dream. And that's kind of, and ideally what I would like to do is to work on something, work on a project, work on a business, whatever, that is mine, like that I'm working to fulfill my own dream, kind of thing. So yeah, so this pregnancy, I've definitely been trying to think about, you know, before I actually move back to work, how I can kind of maybe start a business. So those are the things that have been happening this week. And now I'm going to do my belly shot. Nene is in the room. And now I actually have space over here to actually stand. Okay, so now I'm going to do my belly shot. I had to put on some pants. I'm wearing this dress, my favorite dress. I got this when I had Nene, and it's like the best dress ever. So this is my belly, and this is what it looks like from the front. So right now, to me, it doesn't look that red, honestly. Doesn't look that red, but after I think it just gets warm. I think that's what it is. And so this is what it looks like in the front. And here's the linea negra thing right here. And yeah, and it's usually here that gets sore. Like when I stand up, usually if I'm sitting down or lying down and I get up, that's the part that usually is kind of sore. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So it's usually here, but that's normal. This is what I look from the side. And then this side. So that concludes this very, very long update. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you're interested in seeing more pregnancy updates. I do have a playlist if you're just interested in watching the pregnancy updates. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!